Today, social media isn't just about getting likes, views, and other vanity metrics. It's about being engaged in the right conversations with patients where they are, which is online. It's about building trust before any appointment is booked and building loyalty afterwards. And it's about turning every comment, like, or tag into a real patient relationship. Now, to introduce myself, my name is Amer, founder of Dr. Grow. For nearly 20 years, we've helped over 1,800 doctors take back control of their time, finances, and the freedom to practice on their own terms independently. And today, with AI and automations, we do this with our R6 practice growth engine. This is an all-in-one marketing system that powers patient growth on autopilot at a fraction of the cost of traditional marketing agencies. Now, here's what we're going to cover in today's presentation to build social engagement: expressing opinions, asking for stories, getting recommendations, promoting events, and asking open questions. So let's get right into it. Now, to begin with, the goal of engagement is to capture the attention of your desired target audience. And you need attention in order for people in your community to even know that you exist as an option for their care. Without it, your practice is dead in the waters, okay? But the challenge is the fact that having conversations to nurture engagement is not easy to do over the internet, especially when there's a million things simultaneously clamoring for your audience's attention. According to an analytics study, the average American is exposed to somewhere between 4,000 and 20,000 brand impressions every single day, and at least several hundred, if not thousands, of actual ads per day. Right? So that said, the vast majority of all these impressions live in your audience's cognitive background without any focus. And so as a clinician, you have one key advantage over essentially all other people in all other industries. And that's the fact that patients, both your existing patients and your prospective new patients, want to talk to you. In most other industries, buyers tolerate having to deal with sales reps, vendors, suppliers, or service providers. But they just want those folks to get the work done and get out. In healthcare, on the other hand, patients crave the time and attention of doctors to understand them, to empathize with them, and to alleviate among the most intimate of sufferings in their lives, whatever condition they're facing, right? So there's a pre-existing intent and desire to communicate with you. Okay, this is why you'll see so many one-star reviews for doctors that say, the doctor didn't spend enough time with me, because that's what they actually want. That's what they're seeking from you, your time with them. They want to know what you think. And most importantly, they want to believe that you care about what they think. So your ability to craft and leverage your pre-existing expert authority positioning in your digital content becomes your marketing superpower. And you already have a leg up here compared to basically any other type of business out there. So now, here are 5 tips to help you leverage engagement effectively to grow your practice. So first off, one way to engage patients on social media is by expressing your thoughts on relevant healthcare news. A good way to get started with this tactic is to follow relevant publishers and influencers in your industry. When you see them post a piece of news that's relevant to your followers and patient base, read their article or watch their video, figure out what you can add to that conversation, and write it out. Then share the original piece with your written thoughts and make sure to include a call to action that encourages your followers to chime in with their own thoughts and opinions. Okay, this builds a conduit for a relationship so that when they do have a need to book an appointment, you're already positioned as a known, relatable clinician, and that by default becomes their go-to choice. Another tactic you can harness to create engagement is to ask your audience to share their own stories and experiences. Everybody has a story to tell. The key here is to share your own story and then ask your followers to share their best stories with you. So, for example, say you own a primary care practice. You might tell a story of a time you had to see a doctor before you became trained as one, and you can share all the ways that that visit went wrong. Then, you could ask your followers for their practice visit horror stories. The benefit of this type of sharing is that it provides you with an opportunity to respond. And now the key to your response is that you have the chance to express a resonating, sympathetic, or even empathetic connection with that prospective patient to solidify a bond with them without violating HIPAA or discussing any personal health information online, right? You should know this. We don't do that. Now, so the next tip is that you can ask for recommendations. Flip expert positioning on its head and make your patient the hero, making them the sage on the stage while you position yourself as the guide on the side. Because you know what people like to do more than telling stories? Giving recommendations. Because it gives them the opportunity to feel useful and knowledgeable. But the question is, what kind of recommendations should you be asking for? Ideally, they should be relevant to the services you provide at your practice. For example, I'm a marketing guy. I might ask, what are your favorite marketing podcasts? What business growth influencers do you follow on YouTube? Which marketing strategies are your favorites? What marketing softwares would you recommend? Okay? You get the idea. The key is not to stray too far away from your brand and your services. Instead, keep a tight focus and encourage your followers to share their experiences and recommendations with you and with each other. So for medical practices addressing patients and your community at large, you might ask, what health experts are you following on social media? What was the best experience you've ever had with a doctor? If you're talking about a particular disease that cuts across disciplines, say you're a primary care doc and you're discussing heart disease, you may even ask something like, are there any cardiologists in the area that you'd recommend? Or say you're an orthopedic surgeon discussing low back pain, you might ask about a field that deals with similar issues. Like, for example, what neurology group have you had success with for managing pain? These type of questions enable patients to share their thoughts and recommendations while simultaneously positioning your platform as a hub for patient engagement. Now, the next tip is to promote your appearances at community events. If you're appearing at a local community fair, charity event, or any other type of public forum, share your involvement online on social media platforms and also share it in person at your clinic. This is a great way to remind people that you stand for something greater than making money. And this has actually become more important for doctors than ever before because, unfortunately, the brutal reality is that most patients don't understand that the reason why their healthcare costs are rising is because of all the middlemen, bureaucrats, and finance MBAs bastardizing and corporatizing medicine for their own gain, right? So instead, most patients think it's the doctors being greedy, and they blame the doctors. So the thing is, by demonstrating your deep rootedness in the community beyond the clinic, it goes a long way to positively engage both prospective and existing patients, okay? It underscores your dedication to your discipline and your involved care for your community. Now, to encourage conversations about events on your social channels, you can start by asking questions like, will you be attending the 4th of July celebration at the city park? What was the last community event you attended? Are you getting free health screenings at the city rec center the day before Thanksgiving? Will you be going to the Walk for Senior Women's Health program at the Continuing Care Retirement Community next month on the 15th? You get the point. Highlight the event name, the date, and the place. Another option is to include an open call to action, something like, "We'll be there, so be sure to stop by and check out our booth. We're doing free screenings for whatever, name some basic relevant tests that you can offer that, depending on results, may require a follow-up visit," right? And then alternatively, simply share a free handout about managing a particular condition, or provide a quiz to help them see if they ought to book an appointment with you. Speaking of questions, open questions are how you drive deeper engagement. Your goal is to get prospects and patients to communicate in a way that helps you learn more about them. So, for example, if you're targeting folks that are combating arthritis, you could ask questions like, "What's been your biggest challenge since the onset of your arthritis?" Or, "What one symptom do you wish someone could solve for you?" Or, "What product or treatment has helped you the most?" The answers to these questions can help you write blog posts, create an advertising campaign, build social media strategies, or even develop a new product or treatment plan that are ideal for your target audience. Okay, so look, at the end of the day, patients want to talk to you. The key is to give them the space and the encouragement they need to share their thoughts, experiences, and opinions with you. And then, very importantly, stand back without discussing their conditions or violating HIPAA online, right? Instead, just actively listen to what they're sharing. Their responses and comments will give you the guidance you need to engage with them, and if appropriate, even lead them towards booking an appointment with you. And if you're a practice owner that doesn't have the time to implement these ideas and you need assistance with your practice marketing, book a free call with us. We can mutually explore what marketing strategies make the most sense for your practice. No pushy sales, no weird obligations, just a pure strategy session for you. You can also email us at success@drgrow.com to book a call and learn more.